I'm Tori.
And I'm Karen.
But we just call her Mom.
And this is your comfort coming of age podcast.
For all the times that you just need to call your mom.
We talk about everything from how to host a dinner party to what books we're reading and current events to do you just ever feel old enough?
This podcast is how to adult from two perspectives with lots of family banter along the way. So join us as we navigate life for the very first time and as my mom and I grow up together. This podcast is for everyone, whether you have a great relationship with your mom or a strained relationship, maybe you're missing a relationship, your mom might have passed. My mom is now your mom, and she's all of our mom. And this is for when you just need to call your mom.
Hi, Mom.
Hi, Tor.
Wow.
Here we are.
You guys don't know, but we got signed to a major network, and they gave us a cooking show.
Hardly. Nobody wants to see this mess.
No, people definitely want to see it. No, but we are doing something different for today's episode.
Yeah.
Why don't you explain? It was your idea.
Oh, well, I just thought our recipe last week was the crumb cake, and we never got around to making it this week. We wanted to wait till the weekend because we have more people in the house over the weekend. So here it is, approaching the weekend, and we thought, well, why don't we do the crumb cake plus record next week's episode at the same time? So that's what we're going to try and do.
That's exactly what we're doing.
Yeah, we'll give it a shot.
Okay, so my mom's going to be the one leading the recipe while I am the showrunner.
Right. And we're not, I mean, the recipe's posted in last week's episode. We'll put it again in this week so that you have it. But we're just kind of going to breeze through the cooking part.
Yeah.
While we talk.
Yeah, and you can watch on Spotify or YouTube. And that's the only two places that the show currently lives.
Right.
So wherever you're listening, you could also be watching it.
Yes.
Which
correct.
is cool.
Yeah.
Okay, let's start.
Okay.
Yay. So obviously we're back at the beach.
Yes. Yeah, we were home for what? I got back here on Friday.
Yeah, but you didn't want to leave home.
Last week? No, but I didn't. I was having such a nice, relaxing time.
Yeah, you were.
That's not to
I
say
did too,
I don't love it here, but it was nice being at home.
No, it was. And when I got home too, I felt the same way. And it was so funny. I was at Pilates yesterday and I was talking to a client and she was saying like, oh, how do you relax? I was like, I go home.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, most people, this is where we work though. Mm-hmm. I mean, in the summer, we just switch places. Mm-hmm. So in the beginning of the summer, it's always nice to come here. But once summer kicks in, it's busy for us. It's just work.
Yeah, the best day of the year is the day after Labor Day.
That's wonderful.
It's literally the best day of the year because then we really get to like vacation and enjoy our time down here. Yeah, and just relax.
That's what they call local summer.
Yeah, local summer because we're so local.
We're locals now.
If you ask Dad, we're sea aliens. That's what he said.
No, well, in the beginning when we first moved here, I think it was Katie who called us. He said, she said it's Senile City instead of Sea Isle City.
Oh my God, that's funny. I've never heard her say that. That's really funny.
Because, all the old people after Labor Day.
Do you want me to help you with anything?
Sure.
Okay, what do you want me to do?
Well, are your hands washed?
Yeah.
Okay. Then you can mix this with your hands.
Okay, great. I will do that.
And this too. The butter has to go in.
Oh, right now?
Well, get that all mixed together and then add in the butter. This is just the topping part. And then so we mix this and then let it sit.
The topping part is like actually the best. And I do feel like Rachel Ray right now, I just have to say.
Good.
Don't we need like a discard bowl? Isn't that what she has? Oh, we watched The Bear. Speaking of cooking.
We did watch. We started season 3 of The Bear.
Ashley and I watched all of The Bear.
I had my Kindle on while I...
Yeah, you weren't interested.
It wasn't grabbing me, I have to be honest.
Ashley, did you like it?
Yeah, I loved it.
Yeah, Ashley and I both really liked it.
Okay.
Everyone seriously is going to think Ashley's our assistant because we keep talking to Ashley in these episodes.
Ashley's just here.
No, Ashley's here. But no, we really liked The Bear. And ever since then, I do think I am a chef.
Okay, well then this is perfect for you.
I'm in my Marcus era.
Very
Sugar
good.
at one point was like saying that she would put her life out on the line for Marcus. And I was like, same. I would too. Go. Do you know who Marcus is?
Yeah.
The pastry chef?
Yeah. And Daddy was upset with us that we started season 3 without him. Because he was home for 24 hours.
Yeah, so we had a night alone without Dad. He went home because he had an appointment. Mm-hmm. And so we had the night free, which meant we didn't have to watch the Phillies for one night.
They were off anyway for All-Star break this weekend.
Oh,
this
why
week.
did he even get mad about the comment?
Well, just because we didn't wait. He and I don't watch anything together anymore just because I'm reading.
Because you read.
So I think he was a little hurt that, oh, there's a show that we could both watch together and you started it without me.
Can this still be clumpy from the brown sugar?
Yes, that's fine.
Oh, then I'm ready for the butter.
You can add the butter.
Okay. Do you want to say? Rachel Ray wouldn't have these problems.
No, she would
Do I
never.
do the whole thing?
Yeah, put in like half and mix it around
Okay.
because you want to make sure you get all the butter all the way to the bottom.
Okay, got it.
Everything needs to be moist and crumbly.
Okay, got it. So yeah, we started The Bear and finished The Bear season 3.
You finished the whole thing?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah,
okay, I
when you
missed that
guys
part.
when you guys were out at dinner the other night.
Oh yeah, we went out to dinner.
Finished the whole thing, and it's so good.
Oh, you liked it?
Yeah,
How
I
does
loved
it
it.
compare to the other seasons?
It's just like all the other seasons where like nothing really happens, but like something was moved.
They were going into a lot of character development, like a lot of flashbacky type
There
stuff.
was definitely a lot of character development. Like there would be an episode that would move the plot, and then there would be an episode that was like
All
the
backtrack.
backstory of
Yeah.
one character. So like we learned
Okay.
a lot more about Tina.
Yeah, I saw that one.
We saw like Sugar and her mom had a whole episode when the baby was born.
Okay.
So like that was like Jamie Lee Curtis had her moment once
Okay.
again. I just want to eat a bowl of this topping.
Well, there will be some left over.
It's so
It makes
good.
so much topping that I didn't even use it all last time.
What if a network does see this and they're like, we need them? Like Food Network, call us. Well, would you want to be on? I would want to be on Bravo with
Yeah,
like the Top Chef.
Oh,
But what would they
eat us alive.
What would we
Please.
call it?
No chef, not Top Chef. That's for sure.
I don't know. They might just like love us and our banter and like all that we stand for, which
We're
is
getting
like,
off track
mother,
here.
daughter. Okay, yeah. I guess I'm not doing a good job show running, but this is looking really good.
It does look good.
When can I start eating it?
When all the butter's in there,
Okay.
you don't want to see any of the flour. It needs to all be dark, which is why sometimes you need to get in there with your hands, and
Okay, I'll let you get in there with your hands then.
you don't like doing that.
No,
We
because
don't
it
have
gets under
gloves
my
here.
nails,
I know.
and I have my Oura ring on.
You can take those off, you know.
I know. Well, not my nails.
I know.
Whoa, Frank. Anyway, speaking of like these delicious toppings, we're slaying the gym as
we are.
always.
We are.
We're on week 3, and I just got back from the gym like a few minutes ago.
Right. Yeah, I didn't go today because we were supposed to go earlier. Somebody was late getting
I
home.
literally was on late. I was
okay.
at the studio working.
Yes, but you said when you come home from the studio, we'll go to the gym. And then when she came home, she wanted to take a nap, which I understand. Taking a nap at the beach is kind of a glorious thing. So I forgave you that. But if I don't go to the gym in the morning, it just puts me off my schedule and I'm just not going to go.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I'm not that flexible.
Okay. Do you want to get in there with your hands and
Sure.
do your thing? Yeah. So the gym's been really nice. Like the workouts are just nice because they're like 30 minutes and they're just simple.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean they're easy. But they're just like simple workouts,
Yes.
which I enjoy.
Easy and simple are not the
The
same thing.
Yeah, I would agree.
For sure.
Oh, also speaking of which, I got roped into signing up for a 10-mile run.
Yeah, I know. How's that training going?
I haven't done a single run yet.
Okay. When's the race?
August 10th, and it's July 19th.
Yeah, so you have 3 weeks, 3 weeks?
Yeah, but my Oura ring, I don't know if I told you this, my Oura ring, they now tell you your cardiovascular age.
Oh yeah, you're like a teenager, right?
18.
Yeah.
Yeah, it says I'm 18
That's awesome.
cardiovascularly. So I feel like I could do it.
I'm sure you probably could, but
I still need
you
to
don't want to
train.
hurt yourself.
Especially because it's so humid and running in humidity is so not normal.
And you're going to be running on the beach for a lot of it, not just on the
beach.
roads.
So this all
Excuse me, I'm gonna
happened,
wash my
that's
hands.
fine. This all happened because I went to the studio just to like, you know, check in, show face, do my thing. And I got roped into Casey being like, let's do a 10-mile run. And I was like, there's no way I'm doing that. And then another one of the girls there,
Surprise, you're
Caitlin,
doing
was-
it.
No, she was like, well, I'll do it. And I was like,
All right.
oh my God, Kate.
Now I have
So
to.
now we both have to do it.
There's the topping. All
I
that
eat it now?
deliciousness. Yeah, you can try it. It's flour, brown sugar, butter, cinnamon. There's nothing not to like in there. You know what else you could add in there, I think, would be oatmeal would also be good in there. But this recipe doesn't call for that. So
So good.
that's good. We'll set it aside. Now we have to make the cake part.
Other than that, it's been like a pretty quiet week.
Yeah, it has. It hasn't been bad. Hold on, I'm sorry. I'm just looking at the recipe real quick.
That's fine. I'll tell them about how Frankie is crusty.
Oh, yeah.
So Frankie has not been wanting to eat, and we've been all over Reddit. If there's one thing I've been this past week, it's a Reddit warrior.
That's very true. You have been.
I've been all over Reddit this past week, just like looking things up. And it's been really helpful. So one of the things that I looked up was, why won't my Shih Tzu eat? Because
he's been very picky.
And he used to not be like this. Little man would literally eat anything and everything until like what, maybe 2 months ago?
Yeah,
when Ringo died.
we lost Ringo, yeah.
He like didn't know what to do anymore. So now he's being so picky with what he eats. And you think you found a food that he likes, but it's a wet food.
It's a wet food.
So when he eats it, he like swims in it.
He sticks his whole face in the bowl.
Yeah.
And he needs a grooming terribly. Like, he's just really long and shaggy.
Yeah, so he gets his whole face covered in his wet food. Then we have to wipe off his face afterwards, after he eats, with like a wet paper towel. And then it dries to just like this crust on his face. And Dad takes him to the inlet every single day.
Yeah, they have their little guy time.
Yeah, cart ride in the morning, inlet at night. So then Frankie goes in the water, and then he gets sandy. So like, he's just crusty, this dog.
He's a mess.
And he's still so cute. There he is.
Yeah, he is pretty cute. But he gets a haircut next week.
Yeah, cute and crusty.
We can't wait.
We have to go home next week for his haircut.
And I get a haircut too.
Yeah, and you get, oh yeah, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna grow it or cut it?
Well, this has been a debate.
Yeah, tell them about it.
My hair's difficult, especially in this climate. My hair is super curly naturally, obviously, you can all tell that. And it just frizzes up into nothing in this weather. And trying to have a short hair style is difficult. So I've thought, if I let it grow out, at least then I can pull it back. But I know if I grow it long, I'll always have it back. Like, I'll never leave it down.
Oh, you mean like me right now?
Well, yeah, but you can put your hair down and it looks very pretty. I mean, I couldn't. Mm-hmm. It would look disastrous. So I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do.
But you have a haircut nonetheless.
I have a haircut scheduled. Right now, I told her I only wanted to trim it to let it grow out more. We'll see.
Well, keep us updated on your journey.
Thanks, I will.
Tell us about the book that you read.
Ooh, I read Powerless by Lauren Roberts. Really, really liked it. It took me a minute to get into it because it felt very Hunger Games-y, and I wasn't sure if I wanted to do that. Like, on top of the ACOTAR stuff that I'm still listening to, I was like, I have all these different fantasy things going on, and I don't know if I can handle it all. Honestly.
No, I get it.
But I read it, and once I got into it, I really, really liked it. And I loved the way the author what you thought was going to happen at the end of the book didn't happen at all. Like, she totally left a huge cliffhanger, so now you have to go on and read the next one. So Reckless is the next one in the series, and the third one doesn't come out till next year.
Oh,
so I'm going to have to wait.
It's like The Bear.
Yeah. So I'll read Reckless, and then I'll have to wait. So I'm sure I'll have to reread them both.
Yeah.
Again before the third one comes out.
I've heard really good things about Powerless.
Really liked it. I do recommend it.
I'll have to add it to my list of books that keeps growing that I don't read.
It was good. It was
Maybe
good.
in the fall I'll read more.
Yeah. Yeah. When we're inside by the fire and
Yeah,
feet up and
cozy.
cozy. Yeah, for sure. That's reading time.
Sounds so nice.
Okay. This doesn't look right.
Why?
I don't know.
What looks wrong?
I'm not sure.
Do you want to continue to read?
No. It was egg. I got that. Sugar. Got that. Sour cream. Yep. Vegetable oil.
It does
vanilla.
look a little different. But I also didn't know how it looked the first time.
Yeah, I think it's fine.
Okay.
It's going to be fine.
Do you want to update everyone on your reading goal?
Oh, yes. 1 second. Hold on.
So Powerless was book number 199 for my mom.
Well, no, it was actually like 190.
Oh, sorry.
Today. I did it a few days ago.
Right, of course. My bad.
Yeah, today I read my 199th book of the year. So Reckless will be my 200th book of the year.
Can I try? The batter, is it good?
Yeah, it's good. Nothing not to like in this recipe.
That is really good. Okay, so what's 200 gonna be?
Reckless will be 200. But here's my, dilemma. It's not a dilemma. But when I started the year, I figured, I was going to make a goal for myself to read a book a week. So 52 books for the year. I was like, that's a good goal.
Crushed it.
Yeah, by January 7th, I'd already read 5 books. So I thought, okay, maybe I should change my goal. So I upped it to, I think I went to 100 and then quickly went to 250. So now I'm almost at 200 and it's only July. So I thought maybe I should just go for a book a day, which this year would be 366. So I put that in as my reading goal and now I'm a book behind. 1 book behind.
So you gotta catch up.
So I have to catch up. I got a lot more reading to do.
What was it the other day that Dad was like, I think we were talking about this and I goes, well, thank God it's not a leap year. And we go, but it is.
Yeah. As if that would, or no, I think he said, thank God no, I forget what he said. I think he meant to say, well, you'll have an extra day. I'm like, that just means I have to read another book.
Yeah.
I'm doing a book a day.
Yeah, I think he thought that, you had more time.
Right.
But no.
It is a leap year.
It is a leap year. So yeah, you are behind on your reading goal.
Yeah, it's totally behind. Crazy.
It is crazy. All right, so do we just pop it in the oven now?
Well, no, not yet. We have to put the topping on. Okay, so there's the cake part, right? So that goes in.
You bake with?
Yeah, you bake it all together.
Delicious.
Scrape into the pan using your hand. Okay, so then, here you can help me do this. We just go in there with your clean hands and we crumble.
I guess that's why they call it crumb cake.
Crumb cake, yeah. So you want some of them to be like big, chunky crumbs. That's it. Squeeze it a little bit. And then you want some to be...
Oh, something else that I learned was how much salt to put in pasta water.
Oh, yeah. You said it was like a handful.
Handfuls.
That's
like,
a lot of salt.
All these chefs were saying that you want it to taste like the sea. Like how you like your martinis, I guess.
That is how I like my martinis.
Which we're going to be talking about drinking.
Yeah, we are. And I might have to have a martini while we're talking about it.
You might have to have a martini, you're so right. Do we do the whole thing?
Yes, that's the... It's like 2/3 topping and 1/3 cake.
This is a really good recipe, you guys. And it'll be really fun when...
It's super non-locale. Just saying.
Yeah, super not healthy.
No, not healthy.
But delicious. And YOLO. Life is too short to not eat delicious crumb cake.
This is a Jersey Crumb Cake.
You want to talk a little bit about tattoos because we didn't talk about it last week?
Yeah, I think we should. We put out a question a couple weeks ago on the Instagram of people saying tattoos, yes, no, love them, hate them, regret them. What are your thoughts? Because, for months now, you and I have been saying we're due for another tattoo, and we'd want to do like a mother-daughter one, but nothing weird. But we're like, I don't know what to do. And we were going to do it in California when Maddie was with us.
Right.
Maybe if she comes next week, we can go do it then.
Yeah, do you think she's coming?
I don't know. I hope so. She's supposed to be, but...
We got tickets for Maddie's favorite podcast, which fortunately is not this one.
And we're not on tour, so...
Her favorite... Oh yeah, and that. We're not on tour yet. Her favorite podcast is The Basement Yard. And they are coming to Atlantic City next weekend. So my mom got tickets. She got 4 tickets. So all 4 of us were going to go. And we don't know if...
And now, yeah, her roommate moved out.
Which we talked about that actually when he moved.
Yeah, because he was her dog sitter.
Right.
And now he doesn't live there anymore. So she's down a dog sitter. So I don't think we can fit any more of this.
Oh, you don't think?
Good. No, and that's what I did last time. I left a little bit of the topping because I was like, so you can eat all that.
Okay.
Hold on, I'm going to wash and put it in the oven, and then we can talk.
Okay, now we're on the couch.
And now here we are.
All right, so the crumb cake's in the oven.
Yes.
You put it in there for 30 minutes?
Yes, 30 minutes to start.
And then what'd you make to drink?
This has been my go-to drink. This is vodka dirty on the rocks. I don't know. I just like it.
Yeah, you don't get it like martini style.
I used to do just, like a dirty martini in a martini glass. And they make them nice and cold, but they warm fast. And some people get the rocks on the side and then they add the rocks to their martini glass. But frankly, a martini glass is kind of difficult sometimes. So this is easier in a rocks glass.
What would your ideal ice shape be?
Not crushed for this.
No, definitely not.
Any is fine.
I really don't like crushed ice. Like the only drink that you serve that with is like a Moscow Mule, right?
I don't know. I mean,
I don't like crushed because it just...
It slushies. It just...
Yeah, right away.
If it's in a Coke or whatever, all you get is Coke slush at the bottom of your cup.
Yeah.
But I do like eating crushed ice.
Interesting. Do you want to talk about drinking before we get into tattoos?
Yeah.
Okay, because we're on the topic of it. So drinking is like very... It's just a hot topic. Cheers, by the way. I'm drinking an orange salt element, which is really good. And it's been, my calves have been so crampy, honestly, since...
Is that helping?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's only... I
couple
had
days,
one yesterday and one today, but my calves have been so crampy, and every night when I sleep, I like will wake up at some point and like stretch my calves, and I will normally get a Charlie horse every time I do it, which is not fun.
No, that's not fun.
I just don't think I'm drinking enough water down here at all.
Could be. Maybe you need more potassium or magnesium or
Maybe.
any of those things. Well, you had a banana today, right?
In my smoothie.
Maybe that'll help.
And I used the cinnamon roll powder, and it was really good.
Oh, Daddy had that in his coffee too.
Oh, did he like it?
Yes, but he thought it was chocolate.
What?
Even though we made a really big deal yesterday of opening the tub and having him smell it, and he's like, "Oh, that smells good." So he said,
thought it was chocolate.
So he said, "I'm going to have some of Tori's protein powder." So he opens it up, brings out a scoop, makes it, and then he's like, "Oh, that's not what I thought." I'm like, "You literally smelled it yesterday."
I literally made you guys smell it.
Yeah. So he took a drink of his coffee with the cinnamon roll protein powder in it, and he said, "Oh, that's good, but I thought it would be chocolate." I'm like,
There's chocolate right behind it.
honey,
Okay, whatever.
I'm just telling you what I know.
Anyway, so drinking is a big topic right now. So I haven't drank, I gave up drinking in August of 2022.
Right.
And then this past Mother's Day, I was like, I'm gonna have a mimosa.
Yeah.
And I was practically falling asleep at the table.
Yeah. One drink and you came home and took a long nap.
Yeah, I literally slept like that whole Mother's Day.
Yeah.
Which makes me sound like a terrible daughter, but we all did.
We all had drinks. We all came home and took a nap.
We all slept.
Because we'd had a day before of drinking.
What did we do?
Well, the Crevettis were over before, and Daddy and I were up a little too late with them and drank a lot too much. He and Ken were out fishing and then hung out here and then woke up and did the same thing with them again at Mother's Day. So
yeah. So I had a mimosa then, and then I was like, okay, well, maybe it was just the bubbles because I normally do get tired from the bubbles. So a few days, weeks, I can't remember, later, I had a glass of wine. Same thing, like halfway through, I'm like falling asleep at the table. Another occasion, I go out, I'm like, I'll have a spicy marg. Literally, I drink a quarter of it, I'm falling asleep at the table. Then I'm like, I go out with Katie, we go to get a drink, and I get an orange crush, which is vodka.
Right.
Falling asleep at the table. So I'm like...
So alcohol just makes you drowsy.
Yeah.
Really drowsy.
Really, really tired. So after those 4 drinks, I just was like, okay, it's just like not for me. And I gave it up 2 years ago because of a podcast episode that Andrew Huberman made.
Right.
And ever since then, I just never really felt like a huge desire to drink again. But I was just like craving it those few times, and I was like, maybe I will, maybe I won't.
Not craving the alcohol, but craving the social nature of it, more or less? Or you're just like, a mimosa is tasty?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just like wanted the drink.
Okay.
And now it's just like, it didn't taste that great. I was falling asleep, and I was like, literally, what is the point of this?
Right, why am I doing this?
Yeah, like, what's the point of this? So for me, it's really easy to not drink.
Right.
Really, really easy. And even when when Caroline and I went out the other night, we went to Patty's.
Yeah.
Which is a bar here in Sea Isle. And we just got Diet Cokes. And it was
That's
fine.
good.
It was great. Yeah.
And you could sleep when you got home?
Yeah.
See, the caffeine late at night. That's why we do caffeine-free Diet Coke here at home, but I can't do the caffeine.
Oh my God, you guys, I went to Idaho with my mom one time.
Oh, God.
And she was up, like, and my sister can drink. And she was keeping up with my sister, my mom, and my mom was drinking rum and Cokes all night, rum and diets. And that night, she was like, number one, a chatty Cathy, and number two, was like pacing at 2 a.m. Just could not sleep.
I could not sleep. I was up walking around our Airbnb like, what can I do? I eventually slept on the couch.
Yeah.
I just didn't want to keep you up.
Hi, Frank. Do you want to come up? You little angel. Hello. Come on up. Welcome to our podcast. Let me call our dog Frank.
Little chonk.
Where do you want to go?
There you go, right there.
That's perfect.
Good.
And you've been saying that you've been wanting to not drink for a while now.
I know it's not good for me. I know that once women reach a certain age, they don't metabolize alcohol the same way as they used to. Men and women metabolize it differently anyway. It's bad for you. Just yesterday, I was talking to a friend of mine at home whose sister had a horrible incident caused by alcohol, and that freaked me out.
Yeah.
But here I have a drink in my hand. I mean, we've talked about my upbringing before. A very super traditional family where alcohol and when I was much, much younger, cigarettes were it was part of the social scene. You know what I mean? Like my grandmother, Gigi, always had, as soon as someone walked in, you pour them a drink and you offer them a cigarette. Like that was just hostessing.
Yeah.
You know? So drinking was 100% part of our life growing up. Never felt weird at all. And Christmas, Thanksgiving, whatever, from when my brother and I were very young, my parents would always give us a tiny little sherry glass of wine or beer or something just to have a taste, to do a toast with everybody else. They never said, no, you can't do that. I mean, once we got to be teenagers, then it was like, yeah, outside of this house, no, you can't.
Right.
And those were fine. You know, those were rules we were willing to live with. But
and
alcohol
even growing up, Maddie and I, like, when we got to be like 16, they started being like, if you want a glass of wine at dinner, like, it's okay.
Yeah, yeah. Well, because, I mean, and you guys would say to us, what does beer taste like? And we're like, here, have a taste. Or what does wine taste like? And you guys tried it and you hated it. And that was that, you know? We didn't want to make a big mystery out of it. But Daddy grew up differently than me. His parents did not drink at all. And so when he went to college and had the freedom and decided that he liked drinking and liked beer and whatever, he has definitely stuck with it. I think he drinks more than I do. Because I'll go for days at a time without a drink. But he drinks nearly every night, probably. I mean, he'll have a glass of wine. I'm not trying to make him out to be an alcoholic.
No. There's definitely just generational differences.
Very much.
What we're getting at is like, my generation is very much so steering away.
Very much.
From alcohol.
Yeah.
And I think the millennials are the last generation of.
And I would say even the millennials are split, you know? It's, you know.
But the millennials is definitely like the last generation of. Because they still make the jokes of like, oh, I need a whole glass of wine. It's like the whole bottle. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get it. It was just part of, that was the end of the day routine. That was just part of, that's 5
Winding
o'clock.
down, right.
Yeah. So it's, for me, and also I'm kind of an introvert. I'm very much of an introvert. So alcohol helps me be a little more chatty in a social setting. I mean, if I'm going somewhere where I don't really know people, if it was a business event or something with Daddy and I didn't know people, I absolutely wanted to have a drink first so that I could just be a little less uptight and nervous about what I was going to say or not say or have to do. Hi. Go ahead. Crusty little man.
Passage of Frank.
Yeah. So yes, I still struggle with that because he likes to go out a lot. Daddy will always say, let's go to the bar up the street and watch the Phillies, or let's get together with so-and-so, which means eating and drinking.
Right.
And, you know, for me at this stage of my life, eating and drinking are the two things that stress me out
Right.
Because, I mean, I'm trying to lose weight, trying to be healthier, et cetera, et cetera. Neither of those things really fits my needs.
Right.
But it's what we do.
Right.
And I don't know how to be social without it. And I watch you and I'm very jealous that you can be jovial and outgoing and friendly with people, like go to a bar and just drink Diet Cokes. I think that's phenomenal. I'm very proud of you for doing that. I've done it a few times. I don't like it. I end up getting annoyed with the people around me that are getting drunk. And I'm like, ugh, these people are idiots. I need to leave. You know, it's just not fun for me.
Yeah, no, it definitely. Like when you're the only sober person at a bar and everyone else is like hammered.
Yeah.
It is quite the experience. Yeah. But then again, you kind of just, you know that, like, you know who you're talking to is drunk, and then you just, it just becomes funnier. Or you can just take it all with a grain of salt. Like, I don't know, it just makes, it's just a different experience because you're sober, they're drunk. And then as a sober person, you also don't want to make them feel like you're judging them for drinking in that moment. Because,
again, I don't know how to do that either.
Well, are you? You're not judging them for drinking.
No, but I'll get feisty with Daddy. I'll be like, come on, can you stop?
Dad.
I know,
That's Dad, but like if you
that's my social, he's my social link. He's my dude that I do everything with.
Right.
You know what I mean? So he's always there. And yes, I always take it out on him and I feel bad, but it's just, it's hard to do.
No, it's definitely a really hard habit
to stop, especially when you use it as a crutch for social situations like I do. So
I think a lot of people do. I don't think you're alone in that. And yes, it is a very difficult habit to stop, but like you don't have a reason to stop. Like you don't have a problem with drinking. You don't.
I know, but I know it doesn't serve me. It's not benefiting me in any way.
Yeah, it's definitely not good for the body.
I know, yeah.
But we're also making a crumb cake, which also isn't good.
It's definitely,
you know what I mean?
Also not good
like,
for the body.
The whole argument of like, oh, I'm stopping it from my health, but I'll go eat, you know, a crumb cake is kind of like a backwards argument.
And my dad's entire mantra when we were growing up was always, doesn't matter what you do, everything in moderation. And he is right. Like trying to say I'm not eating carbs anymore, that's silly. Or I'm not going to drink ever again. That's nonsense. But yeah, if you want to cut down from, 8 drinks a week to 4, that's progress. And that's moderate. That's fine, So I don't know.
There are very big generational differences when it comes to drinking. And I think it's just hard to break the cycle.
Yeah.
When it's something you've always been used to and it's a big part of your marriage.
I feel like when you are with my whole family, like when we were in California in March, and I think you were the only person there not drinking, and everybody's like, what? It's a margarita. You don't want one? Nope. And it's everybody. It's aunts, uncles, cousins, grandma, us. And it's not like we're trying to bully you. It's just kind of like, we don't want to leave you out. Everybody's having one except you.
Yeah, I didn't feel left out.
No, and I know, and I think that's great of you, but it must get exhausting to have people be like, oh, you're not drinking? Like, and why is that? Do people of your age say that? Or is it just older generations that say to you, why aren't you drinking?
No, like the other day, one of my employees was, we had a boat day, down here. And one of my employees was like, oh, I'm going to make you a champagne bottle. Like, because what the girls now are doing are they're putting napkins and hodgepodge on champagne bottles and they make it look really, really pretty.
Okay.
Like decorative. It's really pretty. And she's like, I'm going to make you a champagne bottle. I was like, oh, that's really nice. But you don't waste she was going to get Vouv. And I was like, don't.
Yeah, no.
I was like, don't waste that on me. And she was like, why? I was like, because I don't drink. And she was like, you don't? I said no, and she goes, oh my God, I want to give you a hug. That makes me love you even more.
Aw.
I think people, at least from my experience, respect it and almost admire it when I say to them that I don't drink.
I do admire it.
But it's never met with judgmental, well, why?
Yeah.
I've never been met with that sort of tone.
Well, that's good.
Actually, the only person is Grandma. But not so judgmental. She just doesn't understand it. She was like, I just don't get why you don't.
Right.
And I tried to explain it to her, and she was just like, well, for me, I just unwind. And I was like, yeah, and I unwind in other ways.
Right.
But again, that's just a different generation thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just more common for my age group. And
it is.
No, No.
Yeah. Well, that's nice. I was just going to say, if she wanted to make you a bottle, she could have done it out of like sparkling cider.
No, she totally could have. But she collects seashells at the beach. She's a nanny.
Okay.
So she'll get seashells like with her kids, and then she'll do the inside of the seashells, and then she'll like give them to people to put their jewelry in and stuff.
Oh, that's so cute.
It's really cute. Yeah, it's really, really cute. But anyway, no, it's never met with like weirdness or annoyingness. And I mean, like the only time that it gets annoying is when Dad, for example, wants to do like a bar crawl, because I can only have Diet Coke so many times.
Exactly.
But I also never liked bar crawls to begin with, because
I can't drink all day like that.
I can't drink all day. I don't know how people do the sugar all day or the beer all day. Like, how do you not get tired of just drinking?
Yeah.
Like, I just get tired of no matter what it is. Water, lemonade, Diet Coke, alcohol, it doesn't matter. Like, I just get tired of drinking.
Yeah. One of my biggest issues with drinking over the last 6-8 years has been headaches. And I get terrible headaches, particularly with red wine. But sometimes I can feel it come on after one glass. Sometimes it's 2 or 3 glasses. But I will invariably wake up with this splitting migraine that ruins my next day.
Yeah.
So there's always a changeover of, okay, is this going to be worth it? Do I want to do this? Because I know what I'm in for.
Right.
But I have to say, your hack
Yeah, that's
has
been like
saved
game changer.
me.
Say it again in case people didn't listen to that
you
episode.
got your coaster stuck there.
I do.
Before I go to bed now, I will take 2 Advil and have a shot of coffee. I do it before I go to bed, like real caffeinated coffee, just literally a shot in a shot glass.
Yeah.
Of whatever cold brews in the fridge. I'll just do a shot of that before bed along with 2 Advil, and I don't get a headache.
It's the best hack.
Yes, it's the best hack. And if I do wake up in the middle of the night, here's the other thing with alcohol, is that every night when I am drinking and I go to bed, I wake up at 3:30 in the morning every single night.
You just tripped over.
Indeed, tripped over a pillow. I wake up at 3:30 after a night of drinking.
That's so weird.
Which is weird. And I did in my post-menopausal state, I spend a lot of time on Google, like, why can't I sleep, or why can't this, da-da-da.
You should go to Reddit.
I know, no kidding, it's all on there. But one of the things I found out was certain, okay, it's the internet, who knows how valid it is, but it made sense to me. And they said certain parts of your body will metabolize things at a certain way, and if you've been drinking, your liver is the one working, and it wakes you up. Like, it wakes you up at 3:30 and says it's time to go flush. Like, it's time to go pee. Let's get rid of this nonsense we've been working on metabolizing since you went to bed.
Interesting.
So yeah, it was very specific, and it said if you wake up at 3:30, it's your liver. If you wake up at 2:30, it's your gallbladder. If you wake up at blah blah blah, like, it was very specific. Like, different organs work at different paces, and depending on what you've eaten or drank or whatever, bases on how you wake up. Like, if it's heartburn or if it's this or that. I don't know if there's any fact to it at all, but for me, it's almost like clockwork that it's 3:30.
Wow.
I will wake up and I'll go pee and have a huge glass of water and then go back to bed.
I also just have to say, I personally was never a big drinker before I
No,
stopped
that's true,
drinking.
you weren't.
And I think a big reason that I never liked drinking really to begin with was because when I was younger, I had a fear of throwing up. And I knew alcohol could make you sick. So I never understood why someone would drink so much that they would be sick.
Right.
Like, who wants to throw up? And like,
Nobody.
who wants to be sick?
It's a horrible feeling.
So if you can prevent that, I was always like, well, I'm going to prevent that.
Right.
Like, for me, I would have a sip of alcohol. Like, if I was underage and like I would have a sip of alcohol, I'd be like, okay, well, now I'm going to like throw up and like, I don't want to be sick. So I just always like freaked myself out. And then even when I turned 21, like, remember on my 21st birthday, you're like, Tori, have a shot. And I was like, I literally don't want to.
I don't want one. Yeah.
Yeah. My 21st birthday was awesome, but there's so much pressure around your 21st birthday.
It is. And I put that pressure on you, and I apologize.
No, you didn't. Everyone did. Like, it's just like the world, like when you turn 21.
Yeah, it's a rite of passage for some
like
reason.
Everyone wants you to go get like hammered, blacked out, and it's like, I don't want to do that.
Yeah, I don't want to do that.
Yeah, so don't feel bad.
I know, I remember
But
one
it is
day.
nice being 21 because the world opens up.
Yeah, that's true. I do remember one day you did bottomless mimosas with a bunch of girls. and you came home at like...
Here?
No, you were still living in your condo.
Oh.
This was a long time ago. You were still in your condo, and I remember you going home and told me the next day, you're like, yeah, I went home and I went to sleep for like till 8 or 9 at night.
Sounds
you're
all
like,
right.
Yeah, and I said, how many did you have? And I said, I don't know, it's bottomless. So I said, oh, okay. And you're like, probably 2 or 3. I was like, oh, that's so cute.
Yeah.
But good for you.
Yeah. No, yeah. Like, I don't think I've definitely never blacked out.
No.
And I don't think I've ever been like drunk.
You just had a major buzz.
Yeah, a buzz. And then even, I remember there was one time, it was a Sunday fun day down here in 2020 when you had to have tables because we were at La Costa.
Right.
And it was me, Katie, and Rachel, and then Dad came to join us at Sunday fun day.
And they gave him a hard time,
yeah,
right?
they did give him a hard time because we were...
Three young girls.
3 girls, and he goes up to the bouncer, goes, I'm going to go to their table, and the bouncer's like, no, you're not. And I had to go get him and be like, no, I do know this old man. He can come.
He's allowed to be at our table.
He can come sit with us. Anyway, and then I went to bed that night, and it was just like, kind of just like wavy when I went to bed. And I was like, well, this sucks.
Yeah.
Like, what's this about? I don't like this. Like, I don't like anything about it. Like, nothing about it I enjoy.
Yeah, it is a different feeling, and it's not often fun.
No. So for me, like, for all those reasons, I'm out.
Can we talk about weed?
Sure.
Okay. You know, in New Jersey, weed is...
It's also your podcast.
Recreational. I know. I was never a marijuana person, a pot person. You know what I mean? Ever growing up. And even now, I don't love the feeling of that. And for me, it equates to being really drunk. As soon as if I get high, it's too much for me. Don't love it. So it's very rare that I do that. But I have to say just last week, I guess, Daddy and I were here. We came home from somewhere and we'd had a couple drinks. And it was a decision of he was going to smoke it because it helps his cramps.
Right.
Medicinally, it helps him. So I forgive him that. And it's always at the end of the night, we're not going anywhere. Like he smokes and goes to bed. He said, do you want another drink or do you want to smoke? And I was like, okay, if you're going to light up something, I'll have a hit. So we did. And it was instantly, I just felt like I'd had 1 or 2 extra drinks where your head just feels
buzzy,
really, really buzzy. And I'm like, that's too much. Got to go to bed. Like I'm done. But at the same time, for me, with weed versus alcohol, with weed, I know that's enough. I don't want any more. I've reached my limit. With alcohol, it's so easy to be like, yeah, I'm having fun. I'll have another. So there's a difference for me in the way that it makes me feel. Whereas weed, there's an end.
Yeah.
Very distinct end point. Like, nope, don't want any more. And that's probably almost better for me.
Yeah.
You know, I should probably just do that. Like if that gives me a little bit of a buzz where I could be social, that might be more helpful than just saying, because once I have 2 drinks, 3 drinks, I'm like, oh yeah, we're having fun. Just keep pouring.
Right.
Who's that helping?
Right.
Nobody. So alcohol's weird that way.
Yeah, it's deceiving.
Very, very deceiving.
Yeah, weed is, the thing with weed though, is I find it's hard to control.
Well, you do edibles.
No, I don't. I will do.
You, a pen, yeah.
I prefer either a pen or a very 1 milligram edible.
Right.
But only when the stars align.
True.
I will only have weed very rarely.
Yeah, and I'm the same way.
A year.
I'm the same way. I don't do it often.
Yeah. But yeah, all the stars have to align for it to happen. And I find it really hard to control because there's been many times where I've had this one capsule that I enjoyed very much.
Great. Yeah.
And then one time I had it and it was a horrible high.
Right.
And there's nothing worse than a horrible high.
No, and you were trying to relax yourself for travel.
Yeah, it was just horrible. There's nothing worse than a horrible high.
No.
And that just absolutely sucks. And
I agree.
when you get too high, it's there's literally nothing you can do other than just ride it out. And that really sucks.
Are you smelling this?
Yeah, it smells so good.
I can smell the cinnamon in these crumb cakes. Oh, it's delicious.
Yeah, it smells so good. But when it does work, you do feel very relaxed and very calm. But not all the time. And a lot of times, like this is just where this is why I just prefer to be sober completely, because whenever I do smoke or take like my 1 milligrams or whatever, and I know how long roughly it should last, I look at the clock and I'm like, let's say it's like 7 p.m. And like my 1 milligrams will only last about 2.5 hours. So if I take it at 7, it'll start, it's fast acting, so it'll start around 7:30.
Right.
I know by like 10:30, I'll be completely out of it.
Right.
And then I found myself just waiting for it to be over.
For the end, yeah.
So I'm like, so why am I even doing it if I just like can't wait for it to be over?
Right.
Or like same with the pen, like the pen would only last an hour and a half max.
Right.
So I would hit it, it would pretty much act right away. And then I'd be like, okay, if it's 7, I know that at 8:30 I can either take another hit or just be done.
But what did you do it for? Was it for anxiety reduction or
Just like kind of a way.
in lieu of drinking, like to go out and be social? Or
Yeah, like in the beginning, it was like a way to just unwind.
Yeah.
And just be a little bit more social and just to get out of my head. Like, I feel like that's what it was. Like, just I just want to escape and get out of my head.
Yeah.
And I found that when I really got comfortable being totally sober and like not drinking or smoking.
You didn't need to get out of your head.
Well, I did, but that's when I would find like yoga. Like that's when I got really into yoga, or like reading. Like you read all the time.
Right.
Obviously that's out of your head because you're in a different world when you read.
Right.
So like we all look for escapes.
True.
And some people just crutch that escape in social settings with alcohol because you can't be reading a book at a bar.
Right.
Or you can't be practicing downward dog at a bar. Like, you know,
Right,
like that's
right.
stuff, you know, so
Good
I get
point.
it. But that's how I feel about it.
Okay. Very valid. Well, I think it's impressive.
Thanks. That's so kind of you.
You're welcome.
And yeah, if you ever want to not drink, I'll always be.
I know you're my girl. I know you're my girl for sober sister.
And so is Anne.
Yes, my friend Anne. It's been almost a year for her too, and she was inspired by you
Oh my God.
not to drink.
Shout out Anne. She listens every week.
She does.
We love you,
Anne's our buddy.
But yeah, if you ever, I know that a big reason why you do is because of like, what are you going to do with your friends if you don't?
Right.
And that's tough.
It is tough.
And it's tough to make friends.
Yeah. It's tough to make friends at any age. That could be a whole other episode.
We should make that a whole other episode.
Yeah.
Do you want to check how much more time we have left? And then we can
On the
save
crumb
tattoos
cake?
for a different week.
Oh my gosh, again?
Yeah, again, because this is already like an hour-long episode.
Is it already? Yeah, well, we have to see the results of our crumb cake.
Yeah, we do.
Let me check
We're
it.
going to check on it, and then we will be back.
We'll be right back. Can you smell it?
Yeah, I've been smelling it this whole time.
Very cinnamony, delicious. Okay, bring it out. Sprinkle some powdered sugar on it.
Now that is a crumb cake.
It's delicious.
Do we need to let it cool before we cut it?
Yeah, we're supposed to let it cool.
All right, well,
Can you do it?
this is it.
Yeah, so that's your finished crumb cake. And I'm sure you'll see pictures of us eating it in the future.
Yeah, it is so good. It smells amazing. And that was our episode today.
Yeah, that was fun.
That was fun. Let us know if you guys like our little cooking show.
That was fun.
That was really fun. All right, well, that's our show. Thank you guys for listening.
Yep.
Be sure to follow us on Let Me Call My Mom Pod on Instagram. Be sure to follow us on Spotify, subscribe on YouTube, rate the show 5 stars. It really helps so much. Share it on your story, send it to a friend. Anything else?
All of that. You're good at that.
All right, bye guys.
Bye.